This flow chart is also very helpful in discussions that you would have with your district level administrators, your superintendents, or your curriculum directors. Anything that can be said on a single piece that is this clear is great.
If you want to do level 2 or level 3 and there is no file folder icon on level 2 or level 3, that means that everything you need for both those levels is in level 1.
Okay, at Lashai we already teach culture curriculum, but this site was new to me. And what I plan to do is go back and read, try to read as much as I possibly can before the year, see where I can implement, what I can pull into a unit, how I can use, some of this stuff to teach, because I do K3. And I saw things on there that I liked, especially like the concept of water and that elder talking about water. I mean, it's different when the kids hear it from me, but if they see an elder speaking about how important water is to us, it has a really much greater impact. And then it's so quick, it's, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes here and there. And so I can't wait, it's kind of exciting to see what, so I didn't know, I kind of knew about this site, but didn't think that it's teachable for my age until we decided to come up as a team. And now I do see a use for it.
Do you have one of these yet?
Yes, I have 3.
You have 3, wow.
But thank you. I am looking forward to collaborating with all of my cohorts that I have at school, because we have our social studies department, and so I like how it's broken out into U.S. history, Washington State history, and CWP. Because then it's not all, because I am at a tribal school where we do teach culture and this is Indian Ed, it would be something that they would assume is just all on me, and I have my own curriculum. So it's a really easy way for me to sit down and collaborate with them and say, okay, you choose, take your pieces that you feel comfortable with that really fit easily. This is easy to navigate. I'll show you how to navigate that. Oh, look, isn't this wonderful? It's everything all there for you. So that way it makes it so much easier for them, and then I get the buy-in and the collaboration. It's not any one person, it's all of us together.
Great. Thank you, Cynthia. And what you're talking about, too, is that how we envision a lot of how your training is going to be conducted. It's going to be one-on-one. And seeking out your colleagues, and then ultimately they're seeking you out because they hear about your wonderful wealth of knowledge and skill.
On top of what they're talking about, also take note that on top of what they're talking about, implementing and putting it into K through 3, 4 through 6, and middle, we are going to implement language, Lushootseed language, into that as well. So that becomes a piece and a part of it, and that brings it even more intense throughout the school system.
Thank you. What does Antoinette get? Would you like some reading curriculum?
Well,
there you go.
No, I was just adding to what they were talking about.
But everybody wins. All right, who else? There we go. Kieran.
All right, well, I might be the only one here doing trainings. But you need to set it up much like you have done, and I appreciate that you modeled a lot of the behaviors that you would expect of your adult learners. And it is very different when you are teaching adult learners, because teachers aren't very good students. Yes, very good. Thank you for modeling that. Sorry. So you need to plan your agenda, but you also have to know your audience. Like my 9th grade audience, or teachers, they have been through this and have piloted the program, but my 4th grade teachers and the rest of the high school teachers have not seen any of this. So now it's my job as a TOSA to go back and put together clock hour classes and entice people with food or whatever. I like the idea of the potluck. That's brilliant. Otherwise, I'm making a lot of food and bringing it in. But just putting that together and making it a warm environment. So again, you're planning for the adults. I like the idea of emphasizing storytelling, which for teachers can be very dangerous because when we get the mic, we just get going. I would also model a lesson. Actually go in and model a lesson almost before I would show them everything. So then they can get excited about, oh, that streams, that links, and then go in and show them all the goods because it is so well done. And I said it to the three of you up there. This is prototype for the rest of OSPI as far as I'm concerned because it is so encompassed in everything that you would ever need. And then you need time to brainstorm. Teachers need time. You know, that's what they complain about the most. And so you need time to let them brainstorm and start seeing how the pieces fit into the current curriculum because it does fit into. And then you can throw out stuff that was fluff, whereas this is accurate and informative. So that's what I would do that's what I will be doing in my trainings.
That too. One thing that Karen pointed out is that she would model a lesson. If this were a regular training session, we would have unpacked that unit and done that. So that's good. So definitely you will see those units that will become your favorite units, and you will use the I Can Do That handout to usher your participants through the process. If you have 5 minutes in your classroom and if you have an hour on your own, then you can do this. And to be able to go step by step, and we show you how to do that in that handout and then also in other trainings. Next.
I think that one of the most effective things when bringing this to other teachers would be to make sure that you have enough time to allow them to play around on the website. And I think that starting with the way the curriculum is organized in terms of just breaking down the units that they already do and then say, all right, within this unit that you already do, why don't you go in there and look at all the different resources that are already there and already able to be used right away. I think that that's going to be pretty effective. Because as we were talking about earlier, most teachers are open to the possibility of new lessons and new stuff if you give it to them. If they don't have to create it on their own, if they don't have to do their most teachers are not so hung up on their own stuff that they wouldn't be willing to do someone else's stuff. It's just a matter of asking them to do work that's totally new and totally separate. So if you show them that the work is already done, I think that most people will be pretty open to that idea. So
Thanks, Mark.
Okay. Actually, just to piggyback a little bit on what you're saying, is not only showing them that the work is already done, but we do have exemplars on the website. Underneath the how to use STI in the Moodle, there are student and teacher examples. So there are photos of student projects, and then there are also examples of how teachers have adapted the curriculum to suit their particular community and classroom. So not only do you have the curriculum written, the materials provided, but you also have the examples that they can also show to their students as well. And then they can then have an idea, picture in their brains of what finished products, what type of learning we hope will happen in the classroom.
All right.
Okay, my next, first of all, I just want to say that the collaboration with my group was very positive, and I felt encouraged, and I got a lot of resources and ideas from them. And my next steps for the classroom is I'd like to take the tribes that I talked about with my group, Muckleshoot and Duwamish, and pair them with the Narragansett tribe from the area I'm from. and hopefully get everyone on board at least to be interested and start the curriculum at my school.
Okay, anyone else?
One thing I was talking to Shanna about when I look at this, I'm new to doing all this, but I've had classes where I have a lot of special ed students that I'm not used I don't normally work with many special ed students, and this is the only core class at my school where they put all the kids in the same classroom. And so when I look at level 1, 2, and 3, I look at level 1, there are students I would have that could be doing the level 3 work, and I could be working with some of the other students on the level 1 or giving them to an aide, and they can incorporate that into it so we can all be working on the same thing but at a different level. So it's great that you provided that so that we don't have to create it ourselves.
We always talk about differentiating instruction, and we just talked about level 1, 2, and 3 in terms of time commitment. But also student skill level comes into play, and I'm glad that you pointed that out because the differentiation is done for you. And there's not that stigmatization that the resource room or special ed kids or kids with IEPs, that they are something different. They're all doing the same thing. They're all talking about the same issues and all can take part in the same classroom discussions. It's just about how deep you choose to go in with the level 1, 2, or 3, and what you are cognitively and academically and emotionally ready to do as a student. So that's excellent.